Is to fight Chi next for his belt, then take on Marquez, the recognized featherweight champion. But first, there's business to take care of tonight.
In his last fight, Juarez caught Johnny Ranchero Rodriguez with a chopping right hand halfway into round one, and to all intents and purposes, that was that. The two-round knockout of Goody Espadas, fashioned with a brilliant left hook. That left hook is his best punch, Emmanuel Stewart. It's a natural gift that he brought into the sport.
And, you know, he reminds me much like a featherweight Joe Frazier. His left hook is that short and accurate. And it's amazing the punching power that he has to be such a small guy.
In the meantime, he's been hit with about 5 or 6 good jabs.
But what I liked about Soto, he came out right away and started to take control. He initiated the action instead of sitting back waiting.
Soto, as you saw, slightly longer from armpit to the end of the fist, and he starts out challenging Juarez in effect to a jabbing contest. Chopping right hand over the right by Soto. Soto has a very relaxed look in the ring. Asked the question of Rocky Juarez yesterday, what if he can take your best punch? Juarez said, well, it's never about one punch anyway. It's about the accumulation.
Well, this looks like it's starting to shape up to be a very good fight. As both guys are punching very accurate punches, no clinches. And then Juarez, I think, even though he's a featherweight, I think he's pound for pound one of the biggest punchers in boxing.
Recently. The Mexican fighter comes into the fight off a string of 6 consecutive knockouts, 14 straight wins. Top by Juarez. That's the chopping right that caused so much trouble for Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez was so conscious of the left hook. He had his right hand pinned to his cheek. It wasn't nearly as anticipatory of the right hand, and that's how Juarez got it.
Well, Juarez is steadily trying to land that sneaky left hook by leaping off with it and catching the guy least expecting it. But Soto comes back. Every time he gets hit, he retaliates right away.
4 vicious body shots by Soto. Fired with the right hand. He brings it back upstairs and lands the right to the side of Juarez's head. It was a very good round between the two well-matched fighters. And as we go to Soto's corner where they speak Spanish, our interpreter will be Jerry Olaya.
Bring your hands up, especially your right hand. You got to use more of your jab. It doesn't matter if you hit him in the gloves, but keep him busy. Keep him busy. Don't let him throw any punches at you. But be very careful. Be very careful. Very hard. Hit him very hard with that left hook.
Juarez customarily uses the first round to size up his opponent. He was throwing more right hands as the round wore on. Let's see what he found out and whether there's something he can do about it.
CompuBox numbers in round 1. Soto 11 out of 70. Juarez 11 out of 32. So Soto by far the more active fighter, throwing twice as many punches, but they landed an identical number according to CompuBox.
You know, I was studying films of Soto, but I never saw him look as sharp as he's looking tonight.
Rising to the occasion, perhaps.
Yes, very, very focused. Very sharp, crisp with his punches.
Has a sturdy jab.
And actually, at this stage, he still is dictating the tempo of the fight.
And backing Juarez up.
Good right hand by Juarez.
Counter right landed.
Soto walks right through it.
It seems like the power punching seems to be going fairly equal, but the difference seems to be, to some degree, is the jab that Soto has been landing.
Juarez got in a quick left hook inside, not the big left hook that knocks people out. There's a solid right hand by Juarez. Again, Soto takes the punch very well. And Soto firing back 6, 7 punches in return. Good uppercut by Soto with the right hand. Backs Juarez into the ropes.
Juarez has landed a lot of power punches, but never has he been able to really slow down Soto. Soto still is dictating the pace. And every time there's an exchange, he still comes out firing more after the exchange.
And the height advantage is significant enough that Juarez has to jab up just a little bit. So body punching could be critical for Rocky Juarez to try to bring Soto down to size a little bit.
Yes, but you know, still Juarez is still one of the best punchers for one single punching power. And he knows that he can turn this entire fight around with one punch.
I'm not sure if he knows that anymore, Emmanuel, because he's landed a few pretty solid punches, showed no effect on Soto.
He hasn't really landed the lightning left hook though. His best punch.
Well, the way it looks, if he lands it, Soto, I think, is going to take it and come right back with those jabs right after every exchange. And actually, Juarez was holding inside that. See there, he comes right back and initiates another exchange after every exchange. Great right up.
Big shots inside by Soto. Right uppercut and left hook. Bothered Juarez. He tries to straighten the damage out with one left hook of his own. But now backs away as Soto has made a statement in the first couple of rounds.
Soto is fighting a very, very confident fight.
Confident enough perhaps to have created a little early discomfort for the Juarez family watching at ringside. There's Rocky's grandfather and his mother, his girlfriend Xenia, his son Rocky Jr. That's the girlfriend Xenia right there. Rocky Jr. turning around to look away from us, of course, as the camera tries to focus on him. And Rocky's dad is a chief second in the corner.
Inside, close the gap, throw your combination and get out of there. You understand? Okay, let's do it. Think about this, man. If you breathe in and keep going. Outside or inside, but play your punch.
Here's the combination at the end of the round that firmly planted the seed of doubt in the Juarez faction.
Round 2, a CompuBox landslide for Soto. He landed 24 out of 87, including having thrown 51 jabs among the 87 punches. Juarez only 11 out of 26. Soto is setting the pace and basically doubling Rocky in punch output, Emmanuel.
Yes, he is. He's really dictating the pace, and seemingly his confidence is growing as the fight moves on.
And he looks like the bigger man.
He's a very, very, very determined man.
Let's remember that Soto was a full-time sparring partner for a year for Eric Morales. So if he's not exactly awed by Rocky Juarez, maybe that's where it begins.
And if his official record tells the truth, he hasn't made the featherweight limit for 2 years prior to this fight. So he's functionally a 130-pound fighter, fighting Rocky here at 126. Although, of course, unofficially tonight, they're both well beyond the lightweight limit at 137 and 138.
Unless something happens to change my mind, it looks like this is one of those nights where you have a fighter like Soto where he's just totally determined and well prepared, and it's going to be very, very difficult to turn him around. His confidence is growing, and he's doing everything right at this stage right now.
Yeah, and although he took the fight on only 2.5-week notice, he had been in training for a fight that was scheduled for next week. So he is prepared to go a distance.
And his promotional group, Guilty Boxer, has been really trying to develop a lot of fighters by having them fight regularly.
There's a left hook by Juarez in the middle of the action, and that left hook is the most effective left hook punch that Juarez has landed so far. Rocky starting to throw more, release his hands more, begins to trade jabs with Soto. But Soto continues to get off at a high rate of punch output.
Juarez said he would start to go to the body to chop down Soto if he found that he could take his punch.
Humberto Soto has been very accurate in the first 3 rounds, and once again there he landed combinations to the head of Rocky Juarez.
Watch your head.
Big left hook by Soto.
Soto's a taller fighter, and he's fighting tall, too. He's not losing his height by bending down like a lot of tall fighters are. Everything that Juarez does, he's got to leap up and lunge to do it.
Now Juarez begins to work the left hook repeatedly, bearing out that Joe Frazier comparison that Emmanuel Stewart gave you in round 1. September 14, it's another season of the award-winning Inside the NFL. Join Bob Costas, Chris Collinsworth, Chris Carter, and newly inducted Hall of Famer Dan Marino for analysis and all the NFL films highlights. Wednesday, September 14, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific.
Circle to the left, circle to the right. Don't go straight back. Now we just...
Soto throws what looks like a really hard punch to the body, followed by that uppercut, and Juarez doesn't seem to know where the punches are coming from next.
Seconds out.
First bad punt of the evening.